You want to crush your nephew's hopes and dreams of ever winning a game? Want to know how to strategically destroy that one kid your friend brought to the adults' party? Do you want to be the coolest kid at the playground? Do you finally want to be better than your older brother at literally anything? Then this Tic Tac Toe guide is for you. I will teach you how to win almost every time, and they'll be none the wiser.
Yes! No!
Checkmate.
Justin.
I'm so excited now for this, would you call it Tic Tac Toe guide?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ah, sweet.
First of all, we're going to dive into the history
Yes,
of
please.
Tic Tac Toe.
This
So
is-
Tic Tac Toe can be traced back to ancient Egypt.
Of course.
Right?
Everything can.
Yeah. I mean, Mancala,
Mm-hmm.
Tic Tac Toe. What's the one through thread?
Stratego.
Egypt. I don't think Stratego can
Seeing
be.
a pattern here.
Yeah. Where they have actually found roofing tiles with like 3x3 game boards that trace back to like 1300 BC.
Wow.
Like so old. This is what? That's 3,000 years ago. That's crazy.
Awesome.
And so there's a couple other games that are kind of like Tic Tac Toe.
Okay.
I don't even know if they can be traced back further than Tic Tac Toe, but there's like 9 Men's
Probably.
Morris or 3 Men's Morris. Those are some pretty similar games. Those can be traced all over the Asian continent.
Okay.
Tracing back to early times. Also, early versions of Tic Tac Toe were played by the ancient Romans.
Of course.
And this all makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, you draw some lines on something, you can just... I have one thing, you have another thing,
it's
and
like
you can just play.
Mancala.
Yeah. Dig some holes and put some stones in it. It's like soccer. Kick a rock.
Kick a rock.
You know?
Hands and violence.
Soccer. Kick a rock. You know? That's the slogan for soccer.
That's hilarious.
So, okay. First of all, talk to me about your history with Tic Tac Toe.
So
You've been playing Tic Tac Toe since you were... How old do you think?
Oh, man. My first game of Tic Tac Toe, I think I remember I was... I had to be old enough to... It was the first time my parents took me to a restaurant where they gave me crayons and a sheet of paper with a Tic Tac Toe game.
Do you think
on
they
it.
still do that?
Oh, yeah, they do.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And I always grab one.
Really?
Like Idaho Pizza Company, we live in Idaho.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We went the other night a while ago.
Yeah.
I grabbed one of those, grabbed some crayons, had a blast. There was a maze on there. I had my brother time me to see how fast I could complete it.
Yeah.
But I had already completed it with my eyes.
Yeah.
So it was like 7 seconds.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And then my really intelligent sister-in-law and his wife tried, and it was like a lot longer.
Dude, nice.
And so it was really impressive.
Yeah. Then you had to come clean.
I don't know if I ever came clean about that.
Really?
Maybe I should.
Dude, you should do that. You know, you don't want to, live too long with that hanging over your shoulders.
Well, they know me well enough that they're like...
There's no way.
Yeah, he solved that beforehand.
So I was always the kid that, like, when I had the maze, I was very meticulous about it. And I would try not to solve it with my eyes. I would try to, like, put my crayon down and then, like, try to do it all, you know?
You're an honest man.
It might be, you know what? I'm nothing if I ain't honest.
Yeah.
But my brother was the kind where he would just draw a diagonal line from one end to the other.
Of course.
So, yeah, you can guess how our relationship is now. Just kidding.
So you can picture how...
We're great. You can picture how estranged he is.
Family dinners in the freaking buffet went.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so I remember going to church as a little kid, and I have the notebooks, because me and my dad would, like, write notes to each other. And we have, like, Tic-Tac-Toe games, like, in our notes.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I don't know who won or who lost, because I don't,
Oh, you don't know who was X and who was O?
Yeah. But, what are you going to do? My dad probably walloped me a good number of times. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Before learning about Tic-Tac-Toe, do you think you could beat your dad now?
Yeah. Wait, before learning? Before learning the strategy? My dad's a pretty smart fella.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe. I think that it would be a tie. And that's just kind of how the game is.
A lot of games end in tie. So what about now, knowing, having written the guide for it?
I could beat him. I could beat you.
I learned...
I will beat you.
I learned what I think the strategy is a few years ago.
You forgot.
No. I still remember.
Really? This isn't fair!
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so, First of all, okay, I just want to say that Tic Tac Toe is not a fixed game.
Really?
Yeah. So the way that it works, if both players play perfectly, it will always end in a tie. But the first person does not always win.
Right.
So you can't play in a tournament or something like that because you would just tie every time.
Every game
but it's not
tie.
fixed. Okay? That's important.
That is important.
Right, Justin? So I just wrote down, so don't play against anyone who's in the know. Because then you're just gonna lose every time. Yeah. So how about real fast?
Okay.
We play a game.
All right.
Maybe even 2 games because they go by real fast.
I've got this piece of paper right here ready to go, man.
Nice, dude.
Do you want to use it?
Yeah, I'll use that one. And we'll get right back to you once we're done with these games. Well, that was disappointing. So we tied both times.
Yes.
And it's because you were somewhat in the know. Okay, so if you go first...
Yeah.
The worst thing you want your opponent to do is put their O in the center. Because that will always end in a tie. So I put my X in the corner.
Yes.
You put yours in the center, and you heard me sigh.
Yes.
Because I was just like, okay, guess we're tying.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it was, you were like, okay, so he's in the know.
Yeah, exactly. So you and I cannot play tic-tac-toe together.
Yes.
Because we will just always tie.
Always.
But let's just talk to the folks at home about the strategy.
Okay.
And,
you know, I'll wait till at the end. I have a question about the strategy. I'll see if you answer it.
Or you can just ask me right now.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So here's what I call the 3-corner strategy. Okay? It's the strategy in my opinion. I learned. Yeah, exactly. So basically, if you start, you do X's. Okay? So if you start, you always put your first X in one of the corners. Any one of the corners. Okay? Then your opponent has basically 2 choices. Okay? The first one is they move to the center. Okay? This scenario will always end in a tie. Or you can win. You can win this situation, but it's not...
It becomes a lot more obvious.
It's not quote-unquote fixed. Okay? Because this game isn't a fixed game, but by turn 2, it's a fixed game.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Yeah. So... if I was X and I put mine in the center, like a dumbbell, there's very little chance of me winning, and it's not going to be fixed at all. It's up in the air. Okay? But if I choose a specific strategy, by turn 2, the other player has chosen the fate of the game. Okay? It's basically how it works.
The only way that that's not true is if you're relying on them completely not seeing that you're about to win. Yeah. Which, in a game like Connect 4...
Is it a bit easier?
It's way easier.
Because there's so many colors. Yeah.
But
in this one, there's 9.
It's like... Okay, well, there's what, 8 different combinations that could possibly win.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, as soon as it's turn 2, it's like half of those are gone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, actually, first of all, before I start with the strategy, Tic-Tac-Toe is a game where you draw 2 lines horizontally and 2 lines vertically.
Making?
Like a hashtag. Okay, you're making a pound sign.
Yeah.
For all of you that are 30 years or older. You're making a pound sign. Anybody that's 30 years or younger, it's a hashtag. Okay?
Anyone that's 30 years or younger and hasn't played Tic-Tac-Toe yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a 3x3 grid.
Yeah, exactly.
But no one ever draws outside edges.
It's just wasting time.
Yeah.
So then each person takes turns putting an X or an O into one of the intersections. You know, into one of the squares, basically, right? And then you win if you make a line of 3 in any way. Horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Okay? So, I just didn't feel like I needed to explain that because everybody has played Tic-Tac-Toe, but I will.
Yeah.
You know, for the people that are listening in Lebanon, just in case they don't play Tic-Tac-Toe in Lebanon. And I know that you're listening, person in Lebanon.
Tennessee.
Oh, yeah?
Or the country?
The country.
Okay.
Lebanon. Because we actually have, I think we have one listener in Lebanon. Shout outs to our listener in Lebanon.
Either that or someone's...
using a VPN?
Yeah. Anyway,
to watch their Lebanese shows.
Either way, we welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, of course. So basically, if you start as X, you can complete a strategy that will win you the game every time by playing it anywhere except for the center. Because you can put it on the edges, you just have to do a different strategy after that.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about that strategy because you just don't need to know it. Because if you're going first, you can just choose to go to the corner.
It's true.
Okay. And then I'm going to kind of talk about the strategy for O's. Okay. So if you put yours in the corner, they put theirs on any of the other corners or the edge, you will win that game.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But if they put it in the center, you will either tie or win.
Yeah.
Okay. But you won't lose. Okay. So all you have to do after they put their move anywhere else except for the center is choose the nearest corner, either of the two nearest corners, and put your X there.
As long as they aren't already blocking that from being
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they're putting... It really doesn't matter, right? So if you put your X, on the bottom left, right? They put their O...
Right next
to yours on the middle bottom part, okay? Then you put your X in the top right.
Straight.
You've won.
Okay.
At that point. Because no matter where they go after that, you then put your X in the other corner, and then you will have what I call a fork.
Okay.
Okay? That's to where no matter where they put their O, you will have a winning move after that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense to everybody at home. I wish that I could make it simpler than that. But that's just the way of the game.
We probably should have done Tic Tac Toe first, then Connect 4. Because Connect 4 is, as I think Meg pointed out,
kind of spoiled it for us.
It is just a more mind-expanding version.
Yeah,
because
of Tic Tac Toe.
The 7 strategy, that's the same thing in Tic Tac Toe. It's a fork.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. It's the same thing. That's why when you told me that, I was like, interesting. Because it's the same thing.
I never would have thought. I mean, okay, maybe because they're both connection games. Anyway. Go ahead.
I don't know, dude, because I never thought of Connect 4 and Tic Tac Toe being this similar.
Yeah.
And you said like, hey, we should probably we could do Connect 4, and I was like, oh, well, that's kind of a short thing. Maybe we could also do like, I don't know, Tic Tac Toe. I just brought it up.
Yeah.
And then come to find out they're basically the same game.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Which is pretty cool. But the strategy for Tic Tac Toe is a lot easier to understand, and you can wallop young people at it. Because to young people, like to little kids, if you tie, they're like, I'm going to try something different because I want to win. So if they put theirs in the center and you tie, they're definitely not putting it in the center next time.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
This is basically how to take advantage of young people.
And look, since you and I played Stratego one time, I've only played it one other time. It was against my 11-year-old little brother.
Yeah.
And I won, dude.
Yeah.
So that's what our podcast is about.
Exactly. And also, it doesn't have to be kids. Old people will fall for this. Okay. Like, if you didn't know the strategy at all, I would have beat you.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah.
Because, it's also this sort of like natural thing that humans feel to where if you tie, it's almost like you lost because you didn't win.
Yeah.
But tying is better than losing. Obviously.
Yeah.
Right? So if you and I play, you're never, ever, ever going to put your second move anywhere but the center. Because you know that it'll tie.
Yeah.
That's just,
and I don't want to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Because you hate losing. Because you're such a sore loser.
Yeah.
And you just don't want me to see that side of you. I get it.
Right. That would be the end of the podcast.
I really appreciate that a lot. So that's basically how it works. The way at the end of the day, you want 3 X's in any of the 3 corners, and you'll win.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you are the second player, okay, your moves go like this. Okay. They're gonna put down their X. Okay. If they put it in the corner, I think actually if they put it anywhere, you put your O right in the middle. Okay. Then after that, they're going to try and make advances.
Yeah.
And you're just going to chase them down.
Yep.
And you'll win. You'll tie. But as the second player, tying is winning.
Yeah.
Because tying as a second player is really hard if somebody's in the know.
Yeah.
And if they're not in the know and you're playing second, you can probably figure it out somehow, you know. That was a little hard for me to research, because when you're looking up like best strategy for the second player in Tic Tac Toe, they're not going to tell you, well, if the other one's an idiot, right? They're like, if both people are playing at their best, but I don't know like how to even quantify, like, you know, but if your opponent is stupid and puts it here, you know, obviously I'm not saying that you're stupid if you put it there, but they don't talk about that online.
Because
because it's
then every game we'd have to explain.
Anyway. Exactly. So yeah, basically, if you're playing X's, put it in the corner. If you're playing O's, put it in the center.
Yep.
That's about as simple as it gets.
You'll never lose another game of Tic Tac Toe again.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yep. So that's basically it. I don't have any reviews for Tic Tac Toe. We definitely should have done these in the other way around. Yeah. But let's leave a review for Tic Tac Toe.
We could still, if we wanted, we could cut the audio and like switch it. And it would be pretty funny, actually, because we'd leave this part in where I explain that we're going to do that. And in the second half,
it's going to go straight into
we wouldn't say Tic Tac Toe.
Yeah.
We were dancing around what it's called, even though the Tic Tac Toe section is already passed.
So we're playing a prank on ourselves in the past.
I think we should do that.
Let's do it, dude.
All right. So here was what my question was.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to draw a board here. Do you like how I did this? This is a grid sheet. Is that what it's called?
And you did it.
And I did it diagonally. So I just wanted it to irk you.
It didn't actually irk me at all. It didn't.
So I was trying to think of, like, is there a strategy where you do this? Like, that's what you go for, which is... But I realized that's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
Because even if they started here and you put...
This... So what Justin just explained to me is on a tic-tac-toe board, he's kind of making like an L.
Yeah. It's kind of the inversion of you're trying to play in at least 3 corners.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of that. It's filling in the spaces.
Yeah, filling in the center and two sides, but not, obviously you can't, not the
winners. Yeah.
It would just be like, if you put it in the center, you would do east and south.
Yeah.
Right? And then it would just be like a little L.
Yeah.
And then that way, if they put their O anywhere, you would win. But this is more of the way that you want to do it. This is the strategy for if you are playing on the edges.
Okay.
Because I think that what you want to do is have one diagonal way to win and one straight way to win. So basically what I just explained was, let's say that you had your one in the center. Instead of doing north and east, you're doing northwest and east. Right? Yes. So like the top right corner and then the middle right, or middle top left corner and the middle right location.
Yes.
Right? So you're making kind of like this. It's kind of like how you think of a knight moving in chess. If you don't know how to play chess,
and then one in the other direction.
If you don't know how to play chess and you want to keep listening to this podcast, you should probably learn the basics. Because
every game comes back to chess for us.
We should probably just make our chess episode soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one.
It is. It's huge. So in this one, if they try and block your diagonal advances, you're gonna win. If they try and block your horizontal advances, you're gonna win. Right. So that's more of the way that you're gonna want to go. If you choose to do the edge, if you choose that to be your first move, but notice how if they play in the center, you're still. You're pooped.
Nulls it immediately.
Exactly.
So would you, in that strategy, want to play in the center first or not?
No.
Okay. Maybe?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Depends who you're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
So another thing I thought of as we were sitting here was, because I was thinking of this and then I realized, oh no, that's not going to work, because as soon as you have 2 in a row, they're going to block you off here, and then if you put one here, they're going to block you off
exactly,
there.
And then you're just...
So I was trying to like picture like something like this, But I think what I was really going for, because that's a tie, was what you just showed me.
Yeah.
The two next to each other.
And then the one diagonally off of that one. Something that I did want to mention is that I basically got the understanding of this strategy from a YouTube channel. I think that was called like Science Mom or something like that. Super helpful. It was a guy.
Great.
Not sure how that works.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Because like even the icon was like a nice looking old lady. So I think that maybe like her husband was doing the episode on Tic Tac Toe or something. Anyway, but then after that, I kind of went down the rabbit hole and found this really, really cool resource on the Wikipedia that kind of blew my mind. And I have no idea how to describe it. But basically, it's a picture that explains to you everything that I just said. Because, okay, so it explains the best move that you can make after each subsequent move that your opponent makes in a game of tic-tac-toe. Okay. I think that we might be able to put like a link in the show notes to this image, and then that way you can see what I'm talking about, because there's absolutely no way that I can explain it. I'm going to give it to you now and like kind of explain to you how it works. And it's gonna blow your mind.
All right.
Okay. So
this is
it's wild. So if you can kind of follow it to where X, it's telling you red is the best move that you can make. Okay. So I'll explain it to the audience as if they're looking at the photo. And if I can't figure out a way to put the link in the description, I really should be able to. I'm not that incompetent. Just go onto the Wikipedia for tic-tac-toe, go to strategy, and it's the only thing there. And so X, there's two different images. There's one for O and one for X. Okay? And it's the red X is going to be your best move. And then in the next panel, it's going to tell you this is where O moved, right? And then it's going to tell you X is your best move there. Then in the next panel, it's going to tell you, okay, if you moved there. So it's basically like a tic-tac-toe board, like divided into a billion different tic-tac-toe boards. It's brilliant. And it's something that really helped me kind of conceptualize how it works. It took me like a good 20 minutes of just staring at that to be like, I get it now. So isn't that amazing? I want that like tattooed on my body. Isn't that incredible?
I don't know why, but the idea of mapping this out sounds so fun to me. Like, because this is wild. And I hope that if someone is listening to this, we can put a link. So they can go right to it. But
because
there's one for O.
So notice how
way different.
It's way different, and also notice how every single one of them, except for the center one, says that the center is the best move you can make. You see what I mean?
That's hurting my eyes.
I know, dude. But isn't that it's like almost beautiful? I really, really like it. And so that's all that I have to talk about. For this. Here's one thing that we didn't think about. We have an outro for this episode.
True.
Where are we going to put that?
Well, we're going to have 3 different segments.
Okay, so we're going to, right now,
we're going to end the tic-tac... Well, we're going to rate and review tic-tac-toe. And then we're going to get into our third and final segment.
Which is then going to go after the first segment that we recorded.
After the first segment.
Okay. So, let's write and review. Let's write a review and rank and review tic-tac-toe. Okay.
So, are we doing 5 stars or 10 stars?
Let's do...
First question.
How much? What did we do for Connect 4? Let's keep it consistent.
It was 10. So
let's
do
10.
Do 10. I want to do 10 anyway because there's more options. Because these games, man, it's the same thing. Like, you couldn't improve tic-tac-toe.
No. It's like, in my opinion, there's like a grace to tic-tac-toe. You know? It's like, you got a pencil, you got paper. Tic-tac-toe for days, dude. I remember like during school, me and my buddy, like in the margins of all of our homework and stuff, we'd play tic-tac-toe.
It's so...
Everyone's done that.
It's so easy.
It's like rock, paper, scissors.
And the most interesting thing about Tic Tac Toe is how easy it is to understand, to be in the know, as we've been calling it, understanding the winning strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And before someone explains it to you, you just have no idea, and you're just playing, going off the cuff.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Because, like, I could have gone my entire life playing tic-tac-toe, maybe every day, and been like, I think I know a good strategy, and then looked it up and been like, oh, no.
So, do you think before you were in the know, do you think you ever played a game and someone was in the know and beat you?
Okay. I don't think that they were in the know, but I know that me and somebody else has done this strategy before.
Okay.
And then been like, hope I can do that again. That was cool. You know?
Oh.
Right?
Interesting.
Because, like...
What I was really wondering was, before we were in the know, do you think if we would have seen that strategy, we would have been like, oh, that changes everything? Yeah. I don't think I would have recognized it. No. I think I would have been like, yeah, this guy beat me.
Yeah. I think that when I was a kid, I had this book, and it was like the book for dudes. It was like something like that. Okay. And it like showed you like how to do an ollie. And like little like magic tricks that you could do. Really? Yeah. Dude, it was awesome. It had like this little guy and he had like a striped sweater on. Anyway, I'm sure there's so many of those. Yeah. I wanted you to be like, we had and then the striped sweater. No. I had two as well. And one of them was like kind of like survival stuff and one of them was like cool guy stuff.
Mine were, one of them was called The Dangerous Book for Boys.
Dude, I literally...
What?
I think it might have been at a Scholastic
Probably.
Book fair.
Was it red with gold letters, kind of?
Mine was blue. What's it called? The what?
The Dangerous Book for Boys. I think that's what... The bigger one we had. And then there was another one that was a totally different vibe, but it was black and white, I think. And it was called Up to No Good. And it was just pictures of boys being dudes.
Nice.
Like lighting matches, getting hurt.
I think that fighting. I had the Dangerous Book for Boys. It's not letting me see like what the inside of it looks like. That's what I had. Okay, no, I didn't have this one. I had a different one. But yeah, it's so interesting because I remember that there might have been something in there that was like, this is how to win at tic-tac-toe every time, you know? Yeah. Which is like such a dude thing to want to do. So and then I went to school and I like tried it out and I was like, why isn't this working? Obviously, I just didn't study hard enough. Yeah. And so then I just like, you know, my dreams were
so you moved on to
deflated. And I moved on to trying to do an ollie. Guess what? Still can't do that.
Do it. So you moved on to putting super glue on your fingers.
Yep.
Some other stupid thing.
No, I moved on to... Would you ever put like Elmer's glue on your hand and then peel it off?
Together? Oh yeah.
You would like peel it off and it would look like your skin was coming off.
Or you put a needle through like the top layer of skin.
Your skin, so yeah, dude. Yeah, that is so gross, dude. We should have gotten so many infections.
Yeah, I mean we were using used needles. It was like
you weren't.
I might have been. It was safety pins.
Yeah, safety pins were the big one. And like you would like let them hang there.
Grimy.
You would like let them hang there and
hook stuff onto it, see how much weight your skin can hold.
And then every once in a while you poke yourself a little bit too far.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
what were we doing? Rating and reviewing
Tic-Tac-Toe.
Okay. Out of 10 stars. Oh man.
I know, dude.
These are so hard to rate.
I know.
Why are we doing these ones so soon in the podcast? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I don't want to give it a negative review.
No. Here's the thing. I hate to be this way. I might give it a higher review than Connect 4. Because with Connect 4, you have to buy Connect 4.
I think you're right. It's so hard to draw a 7x6 grid.
Well, and also it's just like, why would I go through all this trouble when I just play Tic-Tac-Toe 40 times?
And also, Tic-Tac-Toe isn't a solved game.
Yeah.
Or fixed.
Oh, also, Tic-Tac-Toe comes by a lot of different names. The two that I'll mention, Tic-Tac-Toe, but in the UK, they call it Noughts and Crosses.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Does it?
I mean, a circle, I would... I'd
So
call the
it's
X more of a knot than a circle.
So it's not as in KNOT. It's not as in NAUGHT, which is what they call zero.
Oh, okay.
Or like they say zero,
Not,
but they would rather say not, right? Not as in nothing,
okay.
which is zero, and then crosses as in like
Okay.
like you cross.
I kind of like that.
I kind of like it too.
But I'm not going to say that.
No.
Anyway.
I wouldn't be caught dead calling it noughts and crosses.
So, we haven't done this before, but if we wanted, we could start doing decimal points in our ratings.
I mean, we're not going to leave this review anywhere.
Oh, I'm going to find a place.
You're going to...
I'll let you know. But,
are you writing it down?
I'm going to do the Connect 4 review.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to leave that. Yeah, I'll write it down.
Okay.
So, like, we could do 5.5 or even just 5.1. Like, just a little
just
better.
Just a hair better than...
I'd probably do 5.2. I think that the accessibility of Tic Tac Toe compared to Connect 4 is a big thing.
5.25.
All right, dude.
That's 5 1/4.
Yeah. And Connect 4. So.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.25 out of 10.
It's
I like
free
that.
game.
And it's free game. I'm kind of glad this happened because I think it'll be a lot. Well, maybe it won't be easier. We had a hard time going from 5 to 10. Now we're from that to infinity.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it is better because when we're stuck between like a 6 and 7 or something.
That's hard.
Anyway.
The thing about, like, yeah, I agree. I'm just moving on to another thing, but I didn't want you to think that I wasn't listening because I was.
I know.
Okay, thanks, pal. But we're giving it a 5.25. But I have nothing bad to say about this game.
Yeah.
I have only praises about this game.
That's why it's not less than 5.
Exactly. And I just really hope that we get that across that I really like this game and I really like Connect 4. But I mean, there's like there's chess. There's soccer.
Yeah. The only barrier of entry is that makes sense.
Keep talking.
To playing Tic Tac Toe,
you have to know how to write.
You have to know how to write and have something to write on and something to write with. And theoretically, as we just learned, you could do that with Connect 4 too, but it takes up so much more real estate.
Yeah.
To do 6x7.
Yeah, and it doesn't really make sense because you're like, well, why can't I only play them on the bottom? And it's like, well, because of gravity.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be a completely different game.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Anyway, so you probably want to do like 7x7 or 6x6.
Yeah.
Which is just Tic Tac Toe.
Big Tic Tac Toe. There actually is Tic Tac Toe on 4x4 and 5x5 grids, and those ones are not fixed. Like, they're even more not fixed than Tic Tac Toe. Like, it's actually really complex.
Connect 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah, and I did not even want to get into it because it, like, I was reading it from this lady who, like, it looks like she did her master's thesis on, like, this sort of thing.
Really?
There's, like, a bunch of math in there.
Yeah.
And the second that I start seeing, like, really, really big math equations with, like, the backwards
like,
E, I'm like, oh,
wow, yeah.
I
and
wish
it's like
that I understood
to
it.
the power of...
Well, and it's like a letter to the power of another letter. I'm like,
you're like,
I wish I could get it. You know,
like,
I just
I'm
can't.
trying to go to bed.
Yeah.
So, the other thing is, like, it was funny when you were like, there is Tic Tac Toe that's like 4x4. Because, like, what if it was like, no one yet has invented 8x8 Tic Tac Toe? Like, it's limited.
I'm like, today we're inventing 8x8 Tic Tac Toe. Yeah.
It's like there's 4x4, 5x5, 6x6,
9x9.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's actually
let's write the review.
Okay.
You start.
Oh man, I'm not gonna do a title yet.
Okay.
This game can be played virtually anywhere, and by virtually anyone. Period. It's that easy to understand. My thumb is doing something weird.
You should put, it's that easy to understand.
Yeah, it's that good. It's that easy to understand. Tic Tac Toe
Or Noughts and Crosses.
Or Noughts and Crosses, since we were so mean to our European fan base in the soccer episode.
Oh. Hey, we weren't.
No, we weren't.
That was Ethan.
Just our guest.
Yeah.
Stupid brother. Tic Tac Toe or Noughts and Crosses. NAUGHT, right?
S.
Yes. Is in most cases, I'm going to say something that might be controversial.
How can you say something so controversial? You're so brave.
Is in most cases fundamental to one's strategic foundation.
I agree with that.
Covering all types of game.
Wow. Yeah, like understanding opponents, understanding, this. I think that this is the idea of a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
Understanding placement.
If Connect 4 is, then this one has to be.
Moves. Mm-hmm. I think it's a pretty big
Turns.
deal.
Yeah.
My wife is probably going to be better at explaining to me why this is good for kids than me.
Mm-hmm. Which isn't a surprise.
No, she's brilliant.
She knows kids inside and out. She knows everything that's good and bad for them, dude.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my niece.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of anything else that I want to say about the game. Fun for the whole family.
Fun for the whole family. 5.25 out of 10.
Yeah. It's as okay, fill in the blank. It's as blank as throwing a ball between a father and son.
Not intrinsic, but like instinctual.
Yeah.
It's as instinctual as throwing a ball between a father and his son. As throwing a ball is between a father and his son. It might not be as instinctual as that. Yeah. But it might as well be.
Yeah. Dang.
Okay.
Thank you for reading our review.
Yeah. Let me add something real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyone can play this game virtually anywhere.
Okay.
Is that it?
Period.
All right, dude. Do we want a title for this review, even though it won't be posted anywhere?
Breath mint toe? I don't know.
More than a game.
Yeah, more than a game.
More than a game. That is only going to work for a few games.
Yeah.
And Tic Tac Toe is definitely one of them.
Yeah. We gave it more than 5 stars.
Yeah.
More than a game.
Yeah, that's what that means. So, we're going to go into our third segment now.
Yep.
Should we stop the audio and get another one, or does it not work like that?
We can stop the audio and get
because we have an audio that's just Connect 4, right?
Yeah. And we have an audio that's just Tic Tac Toe.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the Free Game Podcast. And also welcome, Holden.
Thank you.
Yes. Holden.
Justin.
Today is a game changer episode.
Is it?
Yeah. And everyone will see why at the end of the episode.
Oh, okay.
Now, I want to introduce you to a game.
Okay.
You've played it before, but we're going to do kind of a Jeopardy style thing. Because I wrote an intro about this game. And for some reason, it's kind of like, it's as if it's an answer to a question, like Jeopardy. So we're going to do that here live.
So Jeopardy, you like answer with a question, right?
It's just...
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Like these amphibians live in the water.
Right.
What are frogs?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Even though you and all the listeners know what game we're doing because it's the title of the episode, and you know what game it is because we've talked about it.
Yeah, because we're friends and we talk about these things.
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Since February 1974,
Okay.
the Milton Bradley board game manufacturer has sold this trademarked 2-player board game involving colored tokens and a vertical grid. This game has been called 4 Up, Plot 4, Find 4, Captain's Mistress, I know, 4 in a row, Drop 4, and
Stinky Dog.
Gravitrips in the Soviet Union. So that might have given it away, but in the Soviet Union, this game is known as Gravitrips. Gravitrips. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
In Soviet. Do you know what game it is?
What is Connect 4?
Correct.
How many points do I get?
400.
Really? That was for 400?
Yeah.
You gave me everything I needed to guess that.
Yeah. Do you think you would have gotten that from the context of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
so.
like drop 4.
Yeah.
Fine.
I probably would have had you repeat it.
You're like Captain's Mistress. Connect 4. Or Gravitrips.
Yeah.
Look how that's spelled. Gravitrips in the Soviet Union. I
knew that's how it was spelled.
So, yeah, you did. Anyway, Connect 4.
Yeah, dude.
It's a 2-player connection board game.
Okay.
There's another game we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
That's part of the reason it's a Game Changer episode, sort of, right?
Yeah, it's
we
a bit
really
of a...
done 2-in-1 before.
Yeah, it's a bit of a twofer.
That is also a connection game.
It is.
Anyway.
And everybody knows what that one is, too.
Yes.
Because they've read the
but
title.
We're still not saying it for some reason.
And you know what? If you've forgotten, just don't read the title.
Don't read the title.
It'll make this so much more interesting.
Or whatever you're listening on. So, in this game, players choose a color, typically red or yellow, and then take turns dropping their colored tokens into a 7-column, 6-row vertical suspended grid.
7 column.
7 columns.
That's 7
6-row.
Deep. 6 wide.
6 wide, 42 available spaces.
Uh-huh.
The pieces fall straight down because of gravity, occupying the lowest available space within each column. Right?
I thought you were going to be like, because of gravity, which is basically... start to explain what gravity is.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me talk about gravity. This guy doesn't know
anything. Yeah.
You're like, gravity? Is that why it's called gravity?
They fall because of gravity and... Okay, so basically you're like already exhausted.
I have to explain. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So the objective of the game is to be the first player to form a horizontal or vertical or diagonal line of 4 of your own colored tokens.
Correct.
Connect 4 is a solved game.
Is it?
Yeah, so people have figured out that if you play perfectly, first player to go can force a win every time.
Every time. Interesting.
Obviously, that never happens.
Yeah.
Just like most solved games.
Yeah.
But still, it is interesting. I wouldn't have thought.
So, like, this can't really be played in a competitive scene.
Yes.
Unlike
cup
stacking.
Yeah.
Which can be done in a competitive scene.
Yeah. It could also, and we don't need to get into cup stacking. But yes, that's a good example.
Oh, please.
I was going to say, I don't know if you would consider that a solved game or not, because it's solved. It's just a matter of time.
I wouldn't even say it's a game.
Okay.
That's like saying, is a Rubik's Cube a game?
A sport.
No.
Oh.
Well, but there's a difference between like sports and games, because I guess
all sports are games.
I don't think so.
Really?
Well, because like if you're gonna call cup stacking a sport, like what's the strategy? Go really fast.
Yeah.
I guess that's running, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's just like, how do you get better at running? Go faster.
And if I think all sports are games, then like running like the mile race or like
that's not a
100-meter dash.
Unless you're like whispering in your opponent's ears as you run by.
Yeah.
Like you'll never make it. That's strategy, I guess.
But the physicality of that game, when you boil it down, is the same with any sport. The most physically athletic and capable player wins, right?
I don't know.
Like how much strategy is involved in other sports that doesn't involve or is independent from physical competency.
Well, like, for example, American football has a huge amount of strategic stuff to where, like, you know, it's not always just get the fastest running back to run it really far and then put it into the goal zone.
Yeah,
Isn't that what it's called?
It's not
touchdown zone.
End
I don't know
zone.
end zone. I don't know diddly squat.
That's true, but also no matter what your strategy is, if you have a huge guy that can run very fast and can't be tackled because he's so physically massive and strong and quick, then the strategy kind of becomes second to that.
Yeah.
But you know, who knows?
I guess like that's something that maybe we don't talk about during this episode because it's becoming a whole topic in and of itself. But I think that it's interesting little brain tickle to think about. Like there are some games, there are some sports that I would consider games, and some sports I wouldn't consider games, and I don't know. I can't quantify why because like. The 100-meter dash, that's not a game.
It's true.
That's a sport.
Yeah.
Javelin, that's not a game.
True.
Even like pole vaulting, that's not a game. You know? Because in all those games, it's just do it the most. But the strategy, like in soccer, it's not always kick the ball as far as you can. Because you have to that you would just lose every time. Yeah. There's real strategy and rules. I mean, there's rules to running, but it's like, don't wear these shoes.
I guess
it's not like you can't put your knees above your chest like you could, you know?
I guess maybe it's like a game has to have more than one dimension, or does it? Because it's like in a 100-meter dash, fastest wins. Right? And in a javelin throw, if you throw the farthest, you win. There's no other dimension.
Yeah.
Even in Connect 4.
But then, like, what dimension would it have to be in order to make it a game? Right? Because, like, javelin, you could say, oh, it's just big darts. You have to hit this area, now it's a game. Because darts is a game.
Yeah, because maybe it's the target. Because I was thinking about that with soccer. Like, it's not just kick it far. You have to be accurate too.
But like pole vaulting, you have to get it over the bar. That's a target. There's a lot of complexity to this.
And there's a lot of stuff about pole vaulting that I don't understand.
And none of it is about Connect 4.
No. Or the other mystery game.
That nobody knows.
Yeah. Anyway, let me just take a sip on my...
what are you drinking?
Today I was sipping on a Mountain Dew Fruit Quake. It says...
A fruit cake?
It says dew with a blast of artificial fruitcake flavor.
So it's called Fruit Quake.
Fruit Quake.
As in,
they can't just call it.
As in like Earthquake.
Yeah. And I tried this drink over Thanksgiving. And it's kind of nice to sip on. It kind of grew on me a little bit. Usually I wouldn't drink caffeine this late at night.
Yeah. This is actually making me pretty thirsty. I think I'm going to take a sip of my...
Oh, you have a... What are you drinking over there?
Well, I'm just drinking a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola.
Classic red can.
Oh, yeah, I did. And I'm enjoying myself thoroughly.
Hard to beat.
I love Coke.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah. We are both obese.
There's nothing we could do or say now that would prove
that
to anyone otherwise. Yeah.
That's why I said it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I want them to have an idea in their brain that we're just, like, really fat. And then that way, like, if we ever reveal ourselves, they're just like, whoa.
They're like, yeah, hey, these guys are lookers, huh?
You know what? Okay, hold on. Side thing. Okay. I'm just going to start sprinkling in things about myself.
That are true.
Maybe they're true, maybe they're not.
Okay.
And then when we finally reveal ourselves, people will just be the judge of how handsome we are.
Yeah. Also, in the soccer episode, I mentioned, like, how I used to like running more. I still like running. I'm just way more out of shape.
Yeah,
now. So
that's testament
to it. Knew.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
All right, let's get back to...
What's the game again?
We're like Connect 4.
The Captain's Mistress?
Captain's Mistress or Gravitrips.
Gravitrips.
This is a 2-player game with perfect information for both sides.
So is that kind of like chess?
Yes. Both players know everything there is to know about the current state of the game.
Yep.
Nothing is hidden. Connect 4 also belongs to the classification of an adversarial zero-sum game.
Can you break that down?
Yeah, so if you're winning, it is hard to explain. If I'm winning, you're losing. Like, my advantage is your disadvantage.
Strictly. So is that what a zero-sum game means? Because I've heard that phrase a lot, but like in chess isn't a zero-sum game. I don't think, right?
I don't think so.
Because if I could have a piece, I could have a piece advantage.
Yes.
But that's not strictly your disadvantage.
Right.
I'm trying to think of other
it just means
zero-sum
that
games.
I can't... yeah.
Somebody is always in the lead and somebody is always out of the lead, by the way of...
By that same amount of whatever.
Yeah, I understand. That makes sense. So if you're 2 pieces ahead, I'm 2 pieces behind. Exactly qualitatively. Yeah. So, even though that's not how it works in
Connect 4. So it is a zero-sum game. It's not a good example of a zero-sum game because I still have to... can't really wrap my head around that. But... was it you that recently was telling me about the video game A Way Out? A Way Out?
No.
Ooh, it might have been our coworker. Anyway, apparently there's like a mini game where so A Way Out is a game where you have to have 2 people to play. Like, you both are playing together.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're escaping prison.
Okay.
And I think the main characters are named Vincent and Leo.
Donnie was telling you about this.
Yes. I didn't want to say his name.
Why not?
Just kidding. Yeah,
it's going to be so cool when he hears it. He's going to be like, ooh.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, oh, wow, they talked about me.
Or we will realize he never listened to
him and his rippling arms. His buff rippling arms and beautiful blonde hair.
Yeah. Full head of hair.
Mm-hmm.
Great beard.
Thick blonde head of hair. He's so handsome.
In A Way Out, Vincent and Leo, the main characters, can play Connect 4 as a mini game.
Really?
Yeah, kind of fun little thing.
So I just did a little bit of looking up of searching.
Okay.
Just online.
Okay.
And a zero-sum game example, like I think that the most popular one that everyone would know is poker. Because by the end of it, whoever is winning is winning by exactly how much everyone else is losing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not so much in the game.
You can't gain without someone else losing that same amount.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which
So Connect 4 is still a bad example of it, but that's a good example of it.
Correct.
If someone was like, what is zero-sum game? That's like Connect 4.
Yeah, and then just walk away.
Yeah. They'd be like...
Let them do the mental gymnastics.
So yeah. And that would be the last thing they land on. They'd be like, oh, there's only 2 colors.
Yeah. Zero-sum.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question.
Shoot.
I've researched Connect 4 strategy.
Perfect.
I don't think you have.
No.
So, what do you think is the best strategy to win?
Gosh.
Like, just going and...
Complete. I haven't even thought, like, full disclosure.
Okay.
You told me that you were going to talk about Connect 4. I told you I was going to talk about another game, which, we'll talk about it later. Just, we don't want to talk about it too soon. We want you guys to be excited about it when you finally figure it out.
Yeah.
You're going to be so stoked. But when I hear that sort of thing, especially if it's a game that I don't need to play beforehand, I'm like, that's the last thing I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Right? Because we both have busy lives.
Yeah.
We both have busy wives.
Yeah.
And we have to cater to our busy wives and our busy lives.
And our busy lives.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, in my life, like, Connect 4 was so far away from what I was thinking about. Out there, dude. So just okay. So in the times that I have played, I don't really have a unique strategy.
Okay.
It's more just always trying to stop my opponent from making any progress. Yeah. And then I'll kind of be like, oh, yeah, I guess I can do this. One of the things that I like to do the most is diagonals, because I think that they're the hardest to catch by an opponent. Like, I'm talking about Connect 4 strategy as in we're both idiots. Right? Because that's every time that I've played the game, I haven't played against people who are like, oh, dude, I'm so good at Connect 4.
Yeah.
You know? It's always just, oh, want to get in a game, and then we play 2, and we're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
But the diagonal ones they're always hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I always kind of try to, you know, like, I'll put down one, the opponent puts one down on top of mine.
Yeah.
Then I'll put down the next one. Or, like, I'll try and put 1 2 away.
Yeah.
And then if they put the one in the middle, then I put the one on top, and you just start building a diagonal. Mm-hmm. That's what I always do. Yeah. I don't know if that's the best strategy, but I don't even know if you can consider that a strategy. It's more just...
I would.
Okay,
I would.
Thanks.
So there's three ways to win, right? Horizontal line of 4, vertical line of 4, or diagonal line of 4.
What if you make a line of 5? Because I've done that before.
That's a victory. There's games where it's connect 5 instead of 4, and it's a bigger thing.
Really? Seems harder.
Probably is. Yeah. Okay.
Seems like the weird kids played Connect 5.
The rich
I'm just kidding.
kids.
Yeah. If you play Connect 5, you're probably lovely.
They can afford the 1 column bigger.
Yeah. I wasn't privileged enough to know about the 5th column or the whatever.
So I think the most likely way to win is diagonally.
Is it?
I think that's the most likely, and here's why. Horizontal is usually easy to see.
Yeah.
And stop, and vertical. If you lose a game of Connect 4 and they have a vertical 4, I mean, that's hilarious, dude.
It is. I never thought about that before.
I don't know
just
about diagonal and horizontal. I know that vertical is the least.
I can just imagine somebody, and you hear that sound of like the...
Yeah.
And you just see them like... They put it anywhere else but that one.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I actually have an idea. I'm going to break the fourth wall here for a second. How much time does it tell you how long it's been?
It has been 18 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect. I got a little something for you here.
What do you have for me?
You and I are going to play Connect 4 right here, right now.
Oh.
I just drew the grid.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to have to fabricate gravity. Is that the word?
Sure.
Pretend.
Will we just do like X's and O's or something? Yeah. Okay.
So
that's funny. That's funny.
I put down I numbered the columns 1 through 7, and I lettered the rows A through F,
so that people can know where we're putting things. So
if someone wants to follow, they can.
They won't.
I want to play a game with you now.
Okay.
Then talk about the strategy, and then play another
game.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to pause the podcast while we play the games, or no? Because it might just be a lot of silent scribbling.
Yeah, it'll just be... I mean, we can kind of talk about... I don't really know how this is going to work out.
Okay.
But if we need to, we'll just cut it down or something.
Okay, how about this? We'll leave a 2-second pause right now. And if you hear us back, then we'll be back. And if you hear us playing the game, you'll hear us playing the game. We just finished playing a round of Connect 4 just now.
Mm-hmm. On paper.
On paper, because you don't actually own the game.
I don't own the game. I don't think you own the game.
I don't. My brother owns a really cool rustic version of it. It's pretty cool. It's made out of wood and stuff.
Wow.
Anyway, so you won.
I won.
And you won because of something that's really interesting when it comes to these sorts of games, where you set up a situation in where there was nothing I could do and you would win.
And honestly, I didn't even mean to.
Come on.
I was trying to do that. I was trying to do that over here.
Okay, yeah.
But it didn't.
So what you did is you had 3 pieces at 2 different... How do I put it? So you had 3 pieces that if you just had one more... Oh my gosh, this is so hard to explain.
So there was... on one row, I had 2 pieces and then an empty space and 1 piece. That empty space... one of those 2 pieces was a part of a diagonal that already had 3 pieces in it.
Correct. So I had no choice but to block
me completing the 4 in a row horizontal,
which then gave you the opportunity to play your piece, which then won you the game.
Which I was trying to do on the other side of the board. Yeah. But I messed it up somehow.
Hey, you still won.
But I still won.
So
which is hilarious.
Talk to me about what the strategy is. And then we'll play it again.
Okay. here are the basics of the strategy of Connect Four.
Sounds great.
You want as many pieces as you can in the center column 4.
Because you can branch out from anywhere?
Yeah, because no matter what, unless they're vertical, which they're not going to be, unless the winning group of 4 is vertical, they're going to go through that center.
Oh, they will always touch that one.
Because there's 3 on either side of it.
Ah.
So even if it's diagonal, it's still cutting through that.
That makes sense.
Right?
Got it.
Thanks again to Keith Galley for these YouTube videos that I watched and
thanks,
learned
Keith.
about. So here's another strategy that didn't happen this game, but it almost did. If they're, let's say it's on row A, or it just needs to be a row where there's like, okay, I don't know how to describe it. Here's what happens.
Okay.
If you have 3 pieces in a horizontal row.
Okay.
And there's an open space on either side of that row.
Then you're going to win.
Then you win.
Yeah.
So if you have 2 with like at least 2 spaces on either side of that.
Fill it.
Yeah, the other player needs to cut you off.
Yeah.
Or start cutting you off then, because as soon as you get 3 and both ends are open, you win.
Oh, okay.
Right? So
that makes a lot of sense.
Here's where the strategy that I was trying to do, that I kind of succeeded at in a different way. It's the same kind of thing, more complicated.
Okay.
If you can get like a 7, like the shape of 3 diagonal pieces, and the top, it could be the bottom too, but it's less likely, and the top piece is also the end of a horizontal row of 3, then that means that where the horizontal row would turn into 4, the other player has to play there because they have to cut you off, and then you can play directly on top of that piece and connect row 4. It's kind of like what I did here. Just if this was over here, that was kind of what I was trying to do down here, but I didn't have another 3rd diagonal. Does that make sense?
That was over there.
So if this one was right here,
then I would have had to block it.
This would have been the 7.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
so it's like...
It's just an angle where a horizontal row of 3 and a diagonal line of 3 meet up.
Yeah.
In their 3rd piece.
Yeah.
And then they have to block you or they lose. And if they do block you, they still lose.
Yeah.
So that's what you're kind of aiming for.
That
or
makes
the
sense.
Horizontal.
Yeah.
One in a row. So those are kind of the strategies of Connect 4 that I've learned.
Okay.
Do you want to play again?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Round 2.
We're done. We're back. And here's something that I noticed. Okay. I don't know if I did any of the things that you talked about, except for in the very beginning, I placed mine in the very center. You put yours on top. And then I put mine right next to mine on the bottom.
Same row.
And if you would have put your piece on top,
which I almost did,
because you want to keep yours in the center, right? Like we talked about, then I would have had 3 and I would have won, right? Other than that, I don't know how much I was really following with, like, I just don't know how to make this 7. It just seems really hard.
I thought that I had it in the bag.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I would have, I did it. I did the 7. Because if you would have put your X here where I won, I would have put it on top.
Okay, so you did the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier to understand than it is to apply.
Correct. And something else that I just want to say really fast, and I feel like this is more of just like a game theory thing than like a strategy thing, but you don't want to be the one that is
reacting.
No, yes, that is true. That is completely true. And that's in almost any game. You want to be the one that is
a big thing in chess.
Taking the shots. You don't want to be, you want to be proactive. You don't want to be reactive.
Yes.
But in this game, if you have like, I don't know, if you have like 3 pieces sitting there and they're on top of like a tower, you never want to be the one that creates the avenue that then you can make your 4.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so like if there's, it's kind of like a staircase sort of a thing, right? So like if you're one level away from being able to put your piece there, you don't want to be the one that puts your piece there, because then they're going to block it always.
You want to figure out how to get them to do that.
You want them to do the work for you, which is really hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that if we played it on a actual thing, it might be easier.
It'd be easier to understand.
Because then I can see where you're going. Oh, by the way, I lost the second time.
And you brought up a really good point while we were playing on this graph that I drew last night. We both have game vision. And you can play Connect 4.
Yeah.
You asked me that. I was like, yeah, it's on there. And you're like, so.
Yeah.
Let me say something else about the strategy real quick. If I can remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
Every episode, dude, I swear. So, what were we just talking about, dude?
Making your opponent do things for you.
Yes. So,
okay, here he goes.
A game ends, and if someone wins in Connect 4, the second to last move is always done by the player who lost.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's taking turns. It's a lot more likely that the second to last move isn't going to be they just didn't even see that there were 3 in a row and they put it like somewhere else.
Yeah.
Than it is that
they're like, I don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah. Which is really good. You want that.
Yes.
As the person who wins. Yeah. You don't want that when you're losing. That sucks. That's a horrible feeling to have.
Is it worse than like just not even seeing it, or
like is it worse than like just
like
moving your bishop somewhere and then just getting forked immediately after that? That is a horrible feeling. Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah. Well, probably.
Yeah. You're like, I don't personally know what that feels like.
Yeah, I ain't been there. Anyway, so what'd you think? I like Connect 4.
I like Connect 4 too.
It's interesting to think about when you hear the theories of strategy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where I would need to play like at least 10 more games to like really get the hang of it.
Right.
And be like, oh, okay,
and be
this makes
Connect
sense.
4 master.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I really like it. It's one of those games that like I feel like, I've said this about a lot of games, but I feel like my wife would really like this game.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's so inoffensive. It's a good game.
Yeah.
I actually realized that back during our Phase 10 episode, I said that my wife would like it. I now realize she would not like Phase 10.
Okay.
Because it's a card game. She doesn't like card games. But I think the Connect 4 she could get into because they're fast games.
Very simple.
And so I actually might get it because I don't think that it's that expensive. I mean,
let's find out. That's a good thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I also have a few reviews for it, by the way.
Sounds great. I'm excited. Okay. On Amazon.com and Target and Fred Meyer. Wow. Fred Meyer, you can get it for $5. At Target, you can get it for $10. Amazon, you can get it for $10.
At Fred Meyer, it's cheaper than Phase 10.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's surprising.
But it's a good game.
Yeah.
I like it. It's on all of those, like, like on the Wii, it's like Hasbro game collection. It's on there.
Yeah. What's it called?
Game Pigeon?
Milton Bradley.
Oh.
Is I think now owned by Hasbro. So that would make sense.
Hasbro owns everything, dude. Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Did you know that? You know that?
I learned that before and I forgot. Anyway.
That happens, man.
I have a few reviews for Connect 4.
Oh, 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
You can actually get a Tizo Lucite Connect 4 game set, gold black. And that one's $210.
Oh.
You can get that.
Is there a picture of it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I don't know why you would need that though.
Yeah. It's pretty fancy.
It's beautiful.
It is. It looks nice.
But
I like those colors.
Yeah, but like get your chest set like that, dude. Yeah. Come on. Connect 4?
If you I don't have kids. I plan to someday, and when I do, I want to play Connect 4 with them.
Yeah.
Because it's
I want to play almost all the games that we talked about. Yeah.
It's a great way to learn strategy and just
super simple.
Stretch your brain.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Math.
What about it?
Math happens. Anyway.
So the reviews.
Yeah, so...
Just helping you move right on along from math.
Yeah,
a
math
daunting
happens.
subject.
4,800 reviews.
Really?
Do you want to guess the rating?
On what?
Just,
Is it Board Game Geek?
I think it's...
Where are we?
This is just...
Google.
Yeah. I don't know.
Out of what?
But there's still 4,800 reviews, so out of 5 stars.
I'm going to guess 3.7.
4.7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really? Almost 5 stars?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Look, there's 58 1-star reviews.
Okay.
59 2-star reviews.
Just barely eking it out.
Yep. 209 3-star reviews.
That's where I would be.
Okay.
Probably.
758 4-star reviews.
Maybe I'd be there.
3,700 5-star reviews.
I'd definitely be there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Just every time.
Yeah.
You're just going with the crowd.
Yeah.
That's has a lot to do with the
quality of the
the material.
Yeah, that's fine.
Means what is it? What is medium?
The medium. Yep.
Anyway, let's do some reviews here.
Let's do it.
Okay, Chloe.B.
Chloe Bishop.
2 months ago, Chloe Bishop said, "This game brings back so many memories. It's actually quite amazing. This was such a fun game. ... I grew up with an older sister who literally never, all caps, never wanted to play any games with me, ... like, ... ever, LOL." So,
LOL,
yeah.
Indeed.
So I would just pretend I was playing against her, but I'd play the moves, and it's a game that, I know, it's a game that I definitely say is 4-2, but as a kid, I really did enjoy just playing it by myself, ... It's truly fun for the whole family, and a shame that I never got it for my daughter. Jeez. But it's a fabulous game. It's like a huge, more mind-expanding version of Tic Tac Toe. Anyway.
Move on.
Chloe's sister always lost at Connect 4.
What was her sister's name? Did she say?
I don't know, but when Chloe would pretend to play her sister always lost.
She never won.
Yeah, not once.
Dude, Chloe.
God, I feel that I'd play with Chloe.
Yeah.
She sounds great.
I feel so bad for Chloe, man. And then she's like, she just has some grievances to air, dude. She's like, I just feel so bad I never got it for my daughter. You can still get it for your daughter, I think.
Oh, man.
I hope your daughter's in good health.
Know what? This review is from Influencer.com.
No way.
Do you think her... No, because Susie McDonald, that might be her...
her sister?
Not her maiden name. Yeah, like B might be the maiden name.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We just...
Jeez.
Yeah.
Influenza.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you think she rated this out of 5 stars?
5?
5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she didn't complain about it once.
No.
Wow.
She complained about her sister.
Well, did she? Not even really.
She just was like, never wanted to play any games with me.
So then my thing is, like, do you think that she would just set it up in front of her sister? Be like, come on, play. And she'd be like, no. And she'd be like, I'll just go for you. Every time.
More sad. So why is that more sad than her just being like...
This is like a villain backstory.
I seriously did. Connect 4, man.
I feel bad for her, man.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, but you know what? She's got a kid now.
Yeah, she's
moving up. She's moving up in the world.
Oh, actually, I didn't realize this.
Huh.
The next review, Carrie.B. Chloe's brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
Probably,
brother?
Probably. Kerry. That sounds like a masculine name.
That's a bro.
So I'm going to try to cover the stars he gave it.
Okay.
But I want you to look at like the weird thing that happened. I think every apostrophe
is the A with the little hat on it.
And is that a...
That's the euro. No, is that the euro?
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
It's some sort of currency.
And then trademarked.
Yeah.
The trademark thing.
Weird.
Anyway.
But that's theirs.
I'm going to try to read this without... Anyway. There's strategy needed for sure. But this game is cheap to buy and enjoyable for all ages. Hence why so many bars offer it for adults to play when out with others. Didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did I. I don't frequent any bars.
The only downfall, I guess, it's 2 players only at a time. Otherwise, I can't think of anything else negative about it. I think all of these are from influencer.com.
Really?
Maybe we should check that out sometime.
Yeah. I'm going to guess 4 stars.
Yep. 4 out of 5. So
he had nothing to complain about it,
Yeah.
but it was 4 stars.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I guess
That's
4
like
stars,
us.
because I was like, why would you think that it was interesting if it was just a 5-star review and that's all it said?
Yeah. Well, he said there's strategy needed for sure.
So is that saying like you need strategy or the game needs strategy? Like this needs a little bit more strategy.
I don't think the game needs more strategy.
For you.
I think the game as a whole is good.
Yeah.
And there's Valjean.
Honk, bark.
My life, dude. I think that it's only 2 players isn't a downfall.
No.
But that's
you
what
don't
he's
always
saying.
have.
He's like, anyway.
Yeah.
So just some interesting. I just don't understand. There's strategy needed for sure. I don't know what he's trying to say.
Maybe he's just like, hey, I'll give it the benefit of the I'll give it the I don't know what there you do need strategy, right?
Yeah,
I think that's what he's saying.
Needed. Yeah, but what game wouldn't?
Yeah.
The next review. Meg.s.
Meg.
Also.
Sandlin.
I think you're right. The apostrophes are the same thing.
Really? I wonder if it's just the website.
It's a rite of passage, sure, but it's not very entertaining as far as games go. For Chloe, it was not a rite of passage.
I'm just thinking like when you think Connect 4, what do you think? Rite of passage.
Yeah,
for sure.
when me and all my siblings hit 10 years old,
we had to play
Connect 4 till we won.
Yeah. It was our rite of passage.
Yeah, yep.
The Na'vi have to fly a Banshee, we have to win at Connect 4.
This used to be the only game you could play with really young kids, but the game world has evolved and quite possibly left this one behind.
Ooh.
That being said, I did recently buy it for my youngest, in parentheses, 3 years old.
Okay.
And I've been vacuuming up discs ever since.
Vacuuming them up? Oh my gosh, dude.
Why?
Yeah.
Maybe if it's under the couch, she doesn't see it.
Does she have bright red and yellow carpet?
Yeah. It's just polka dot bright red. Yeah, they fit right in. Those discs are so big, they wouldn't fit in my vacuum.
No. And if they did, it would go like, it would make a horrible noise. Yeah.
It would never go up the chute.
Yeah.
Tube hose.
Weird, dude.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah.
I thought that was
They weren't collecting dust. They were dust.
Yeah.
Being vacuumed up.
And also, there's probably not that many discs.
Yeah.
Like, this review was written 5 months ago.
Ever since.
Ever since Meg Sandlin.
Huh.
Anyway, she said this game has quite possibly been left behind.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of kid-friendly games these days.
I think I might agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought if I agree or not. Just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, because, like, then again, if I had kids, I'd probably buy them Connect 4.
Yeah.
You know?
You as a parent, these days, you'd probably just be like, any physical game that's not on the screens.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, my dad got me and my brother a chess set that had chess pieces, checkers.
Okay.
And then you would lift up and off like the lid, which was basically like the chessboard. And then in there was backgammon. And you could play backgammon in there. And maybe that's something that I might get for my kids, because the checkers are used as your backgammon pieces.
Okay.
And there's some dice in there. And it's just like a 3-in-1 sort of a thing.
I love those.
And it's like different levels. Just like checkers, friggin' babies can play checkers.
I don't know how checkers works. Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
It's easy. We can talk about it someday.
I beat my little brother in checkers recently on Game Pigeon.
And you didn't know how it...
No, but I won.
Nice, dude. But backgammon is another... That one's pretty simple. And then, chess obviously is hard.
Yeah.
But But yeah, I think...
I also don't know how backgammon is played.
Dude, we gotta play all these games,
Yeah.
dude.
We do. So...
Any more reviews?
No, did you guess the stars yet out of 5?
Oh, no. 3?
2.
2? Oh my gosh.
She's like, I am so sick of these discs getting caught in my vacuum. Also, I guess 3-year-olds are still pretty messy, huh?
Yeah.
Like leaving discs everywhere.
Yeah. I know a 3-year-old right now.
Great.
Yeah. And she's pretty messy.
Okay. Like, yeah. I also know is she 4? She's almost 4. Anyway,
wow.
My niece.
Yeah.
Oh, you were also
Cora.
referring to my niece.
No, I wasn't talking about your niece. I don't know your niece.
Anyway, so, we need to rate and review.
Yeah.
Connect 4.
Straight off the bat, you know, it's Connect 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That says a lot. I mean, most people know what Connect 4
That's
is.
the title. You know, it's Connect 4.
Okay. I'm going to do Y apostrophe no. Oh, but my apostrophe accidentally had to switch to the A.
Did it?
It didn't, but I'm going to make it A. What is that thing? I don't know.
Oh, with the little hat on it?
What else was in there? I have to look it up now.
You know?
Oh, and then trademark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can add it.
Can actually do that?
I'll just put TM.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put, no.
You know?
Look at how that... you know what was the phrase?
It's Connect 4.
Comma. It's Connect 4. Oh, but now I have to do that for every...
Oh, don't
I'll do that later.
Just
I'll do
don't.
that later.
Okay, fine.
Well, or just the one.
It's Connect 4.
It's Connect... Okay.
And then...
That's the title.
But like, going back to rating it, right? Okay. Are we doing out of 5 stars?
Well... this game is probably on Board Games Geek. So...
Board Game Geek.
Is it just singular?
I think it's just singular.
I think I
Boards Games Geeks.
Connect 4. I did look this up. Why didn't I write down the ratings? Wow. Do you want to know the ratings on Board Game Geek?
It's probably so low. Out of 10?
Out of 10.
I'm going to guess 6.
The Geek rating... 4.982.
Wow. Yeah.
Just under 5.
See, that's the thing is that, like, when we're talking about all other board games, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's Connect 4. It's trusty and dusty.
Mm-hmm.
It's tried and tested.
Mm-hmm.
It's...
True and blue.
It's true and it's blue.
Yeah.
It's old and it's new, And...
It is actually blue, I think. The grid is.
Yeah, the grid is blue.
Cool.
Yeah. It's red and he's Fred.
Mm-hmm.
It's yellow and I'm
mellow.
And it's mellow. That's basically all I have to say about it. But no, like out of 10, I'm thinking like a 4, maybe a 5. Like it's Connect 4.
Yeah.
4 is thematic.
I don't want to do. I'm hesitant to do less than 5 just because. I don't have a negative.
No.
I don't want it to be negative. It's just...
Okay, then let's just maybe do 5.
All right.
Okay, so 5 stars out of 10.
Okay.
Simply just because, it's Connect 4.
It's Connect 4. That's the title. What's the body?
If you haven't played Connect 4, where have you been, buddy?
If you haven't played, where have you been? Where have you been, buddy?
Everyone and their 2-year-old niece has played Connect 4.
Their 2 or 3-year-old.
3-year-old niece has played Connect 4.
3. I'm going to put in parentheses. On their parentheses 3-year-old.
3-year-old unparentheses
niece has played it.
And you know what? It's all right.
Okay.
Though I have nothing to complain about,
I
got nothing to write home about.
Okay. Okay.
There's a dose of strategy.
There's a dose of... Okay. There's a dose of strategy.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. I agree.
But I got plenty of other games I could play.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. You turn.
Okay. There's no reason to give this game a negative review. It's perfect for what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't improve Connect 4 at all.
No.
It's perfect
Connect
for what
5.
it is. Yeah, but listen.
You're like, oh, stop it with your yuppie games.
Yeah.
The proletariat
I never
showed up. They want their games back.
There's no reason to give this game a negative review. It's perfect for what it is.
But let's get real. I'm just kidding.
It's perfect for what it is. It's not fun.
Yep, it's not.
I am planning on playing this with my kids.
Yeah.
If I ever meet someone.
No.
Come on, dude. That's like a Michael Scott thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this with my kids.
You're 2 steps away from it. I plan to play this with my kids if I ever meet someone. And then just put a crying face emoji.
Oh, man.
Like the single tear.
Put my phone number.
Yeah.
Smiling emoji with 1 tear.
Yeah.
Trying to stay positive here.
Yeah. And then say, like, come on, I'm a nice guy.
It's like right at the point where you can click read more.
Yeah.
You know it's just going off down that rabbit
So
hole.
long. No, you don't have to do that. All right.
I might end with the emoji.
Okay, just end it there.
Okay.
If I ever end up meeting someone, crying emoji. That's brilliant, dude.
If I ever meet someone. It's kind of like saying, it's a shame that I never bought this for my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think this is a good time to transition into our next game.
Let's do it, man.
Okay.
So, I guess this technically falls under corrections.
Okay.
But not really. Listening back to the Moncala episode.
All right.
I feel so bad.
Why?
I just... Moncala... You and I don't think we could have imagined how much, like, history and cultural significance Moncala type games have.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool to learn about.
Mm-hmm.
When we recorded that episode, it was probably just another Wednesday. I was tired, and you can tell I'm like yawning. I feel bad, dude, because I do, like, I think about that game so much these days.
Nice, dude. I'm glad.
Like, that's cool. It's such a cool game.
Yeah.
The history behind it is so rich.
Yeah.
I just feel bad. I wanted to say this because it's like, I don't know.
I understand why you're saying that, and you know what? I accept your apology.
Okay. Thank you. You're very forgiving.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to say, so that the end of our first segment isn't as sad, is that I am married.
Yeah.
For anyone who might not have caught that in the early episode or this is the first episode. I'm not looking to meet someone. Like, I am married. I'm not, like, daydreaming about kids after having met someone. I'm married. Anyway, because if
you left that a little dry.
Yeah, and if you didn't know that, it would be like,
so sad.
and you're laughing.
And I'm laughing.
Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out. And my wonderful wife got me a Christmas present.
Yeah.
And it is crazy, the fact that she even thought of this.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything more to say, Holden?
No, man. I don't. Other than, we're both going to shout out a crazy talented artist that did something super cool for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you wanna take it away, man.
This is another game changer episode. A lot of these recently.
Yeah. Probably gonna slow down. Probably gonna plateau here soon.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'd like to end the show with a big shout out to Kibo.
Yeah.
take us out.
Yeah, dude.
Ayy, free game, talking gaming day and night. This the show that you've been missing, guaranteed to get you hyped. Up, down, left, start, better charge up your controller. The show is taking over, with Justin and with Holden. Ayy, phase 10, Halo Reach, Magic the Gathering. Plenty games we talking, cause that's what we got a passion in. Ayy, restart, run it back, let's play like we in the arcade. Homie, this is free game, let's go.